So, with how quiet BSG are being between patches these days, it's given me plenty of time to investigate other games that may scratch the itch of Tarkov-style gameplay, of which there have been a few attempts, but none have really stuck yet. Now, don't get this twisted, I don't see anyone ever being able to do what BSG have done here for a wide variety of reasons, but mainly because of the difficulty and investment risk for a studio to take on a game or a project like this. Really, I only see AAA studios having the capability to get anywhere close, and they wouldn't go as deep as BSG planned to go with the features and gameplay. What I think will happen is we'll see them try and grasp that one more raid sort of feeling from the gameplay and then put their own very specific twist to it. Also, depending on the studio, probably load it with microtransactions. Meanwhile, smaller studios might be able to take a swing, but they'd be crazy to take on what BSG have taken on over the years in terms of scope, and I don't see them having the resources to do it better and or faster than BSG. So here's the attempts that we have so far, and be sure to let me know if you think I've missed any. First, we have the Psycho Frontier, which is free to play and at least has that raid style gameplay where you lose everything on death, but it doesn't capture the same grittiness and sense of accomplishment that Tarkov does when you do something good. At least it doesn't for me, and I don't seem to be alone in that. But again, it sort of plays like Tarkov, and it's free to play, so you can check it out for yourself if you want. Hunt Showdown is something that I need to put time into. I haven't played this yet, but the setting of evil monsters or demons or whatever these things are, and Old West weapons has its own character away from the modern day non-fictional setting of Tarkov, so not quite the same, and even though I haven't put any time into it, it's a bit telling that we just don't see as many people playing it, or as much information, or as many streams or videos on that game, so I'm assuming that they just didn't really get it. But again, I haven't played it myself, I'll have to put some time in. Hazard Zone with the latest Battlefield sounded promising until the entire game turned out to be pretty shit, and they didn't really put any effort into the main attraction for the game, let alone the side piece, Hazard Zone there, so that turned out even worse than the base game, of course. So not looking too good for our first attempt from a AAA studio. Earlier this year, there were rumors about this game coming from Ubisoft about the Division series called Heartland, where it was rumored to play like Escape from Tarkov. Last week, we got some proper information on the project, and it turns out to be free to play, which first of all puts it down a dozen or so pegs in my book, especially where it's Ubisoft and they're known for their predatory microtransactions. Also, when you look and hear about the gameplay, I'm really not seeing any connection to Tarkov, so I think those are missed rumors there. Or maybe the gameplay has changed over time, that could have happened too. If you want to put a tinfoil hat on for something like this, what could have happened is they made a real attempt at something like Escape from Tarkov and then realized that they weren't doing well at it, so they went into salvage mode and basically made the game free to play. Guaranteed to be a bunch of microtransactions on it. They're going to try and salvage as much as they can from the project and make as much money as they can with what they have. I could totally see a AAA studio doing something like that. Then we have what I think is the front runner for attempts on the board. Surprisingly, it's Call of Duty with their DMZ game mode. I've already done a full video explaining the details and rumors that I've been able to find for this, which I've linked below if you want to learn more, but there's one thing that I missed. As I explained in the video, it's not a carbon copy from this AAA studio, as they will very likely just try to grasp that core gameplay and make you feel the same way Tarkov does as best as they can and with their own twist. What it looks to me is that there is something that they're going to be doing right with this, and it's one thing that everyone gets annoyed with at least once a play session while they play Tarkov that, again, DMZ looks to have handled very well, and that's AI. Tarkov is a PvEVP system, aka player versus environment versus player. You have to fight off AI factions just as much, if not significantly more, than players at times. We've all been one-tapped by shotguns or 308 guns from over 100 meters by AI in Tarkov. It's simply a rite of passage. We all can also think of a time we've seen them acting in ridiculous ways and know when you're aiming at them. Things like that. Well, with the resources a massive studio, or really a group of studios under Activision would have when developing a Call of Duty game, they look to have really nailed AI in this year's Call of Duty. So with DMZ being a PvEVP game mode, obviously this will be what's filling the digital brains of those AI we're fighting in it. This is some of the best non-recorded movement that I have ever seen from an AI, and what I mean by that are the sort of cutscenes and things like that where you're moving up on a target or something in any game, and your friendlies are right next to you and they're moving up on a door or whatever they might be doing. 99.9% of the time, animators would go in ahead of time and they would physically move and record the skeletons of each of those characters to do exactly what they're doing. Well, what we're looking at here is AI doing it automatically. Obviously, the decision making here is yet to be really shown in full, but it looks really good. Now, all we have to go off of really is these few clips and their word for now, which I will give you. It could be some marketing BS, but this looks to be more than that, and they do sound really confident about it. I think the realistic behavior of the things you're fighting against in games like these hold significant value, and if they look this good and the gameplay is good, then we will be looking at our first real AAA studio attempt at the genre BSG have created and lead with Tarkov. In my last video on DMZ, I talked about rumors that the team had had been working on it just as much as the multiplayer, and it goes all the way back to 2018. Well, this is one of those things that would show up if those rumors were true. Things like advanced AI, which would have taken years. So it's making me a bit more confident. In conclusion, it looks like the AI should be fun to fight against and or with in this new game mode, which is a big plus in my book, but I'm still not sold. We're going to hear more about this year's Call of Duty and its DMZ game mode with Call of Duty Next, which is this Thursday. I'll be checking it out, and I'm going to report on anything that's worth reporting. In other news, on the other side of the universe, Star Citizen is free to play until the 15th. If any of you think you'd be interested in a game like that, I suggest you give it a try. Surprisingly, there's a lot of crossover between people that like Escape from Tarkov and this game. Also, if you use my referral code, you'll get a bunch of extra starting cash and a free hover quad in-game. You can find all the details that you need in the video that I've linked below from my Star Citizen channel, which, while we're on the subject, you should sub to if you're interested. It's the same stuff I do here for Tarkov, just Star Citizen. I'll be live right after this video is posted, so please come by and ask any questions that you might have or talk about something you think I might have missed. Link in the description for that. If not, then you can check out these playlists here for the latest Tarkov info. If you like this video, then you know the drill. Please subscribe. I really appreciate the people who do. Otherwise, thanks for watching, and I hope you have a nice day. See you guys.